This is Will Knight. We're back with another podcast, All About Nothing. And today we're in Andersonville in Chicago. And we are at the record store. And we're with the owner. Introduce yourself.
I'm Paul, the owner of Rattleback Records here in Andersonville.
So Paul, tell me about how did you get this started? Because this is an awesome record shop.
Thanks so much. I've always loved music. Grew up, of course, like everyone, listening to music.
Right.
When I was younger, records were the way you listened to music.
That
we
is
didn't
true,
have,
right.
I was born before CDs. And,
Yeah.
So I just always loved vinyl, always loved music. And I always had this idea tucked in the back of my head that I would like to open my own shop someday. But I was a teacher for a number of years. I was I was in education. I was a principal at an elementary school.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and so, but then after 20 years or so in education, decided that I wanted to actually follow this other dream that I had for a while. And
so how long have you been in Edgewater for?
we opened here November 1st of 2018, so it's coming up on 7 years, which is crazy.
Congratulations.
To think about. Yeah, thanks.
You got that 7-year itch to open up another record store?
No, we're not opening any more record stores. No.
This is it.
This is plenty. Yeah, this keeps us real busy.
So when I was walking in, I saw a little memorial thing for Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. May he rest.
Yes.
Yeah, we love Ozzy here. I grew up listening to Black Sabbath and Ozzy, and so it was great to see his concert. That they had just a couple weeks before his death. Thank goodness that they were able to do that.
Yeah.
Get that in, and then when he passed, we put together a little memorial just of, we weren't trying to capitalize on his passing at all, but we had his records in the store, and so we put them up on display with a couple of books that we had, and then I had the idea of putting a little candle, one of those little votive candles that don't really light. They're just little wick, I don't know, LED candles, exactly, the battery operated ones. And so people were into it, and then all of a sudden I looked up there one day and someone had put a little flower in front of it, and then someone put an actual dum-dum sucker, those little suckers, which I thought was an interesting tribute, but people were leaving little tributes, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about the store. What type of culture? What's the music? What type of people come in here?
Yeah, I mean that's what's crazy is it's evolved so much, over the time we've been here. But I mean, it's really what I wanted it to be was a full service music store. Anybody that can come in here, you're looking for Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
If you're looking for Elvis Costello, if you're looking for NWA, if you're looking for Coltrane, if whoever it is, if you're looking for soundtracks, Guys and Dolls, whatever, we wanted to have a variety, and our clientele, the customers that come in here, are really representative of that. It's everyone from kids to old folks like myself.
Old folks, you're not that old.
I mean,
come on. How old are you?
I mean, I just turned 57 this year.
Congratulations!
So, yeah, thanks.
Congratulations!
Thanks.
See, you're not that old.
Yeah,
you're young. You're a young man.
Yeah,
you're a young man.
Look, this keeps me young.
Exactly. So, who's your employees here? I mean, I come here sometimes just to walk around, look at records.
Yeah.
I remember having a record player.
Yeah.
In my living room.
Yep.
And
growing up.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, it changed over from records to CDs. So, tell me about your employees and how do they react to from the digital age now, from Spotify going backwards to CDs and albums.
That's a really good. Yeah, it's a good way to think about it. I hadn't really thought about it that way, but first of all, they're all music lovers.
Okay.
So however you get your music, we have one thing in common, whether you're streaming or whether you're listening to CDs or tapes or whatever, going to live shows. We all love music here, and we have a wide variety of tastes. And so one of the nice things is that we all sort of riff off of each other, and someone will play something and be like, oh, this reminds me of that, and then so. Really, the common denominator, and because we have a wide range of folks that work here too, and the common denominator is just our love of music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you play the records here in the store because they're new and used? If I'm
correct. We play. Yeah, we have a setup here. We play records all day long. We play CDs, we play cassettes, we play 8-tracks.
Really?
Yep.
We have 8 tracks?
We have 8 tracks, man. Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people have no idea what an 8-track is.
They have no idea. Yeah, it's all right. If you want to know, come and find out. We'll tell you all about it. But yeah, we play records all day long or music all day long. We also stream stuff too, so I don't want to like, you know, streaming is you know, a way to capture some of the newer stuff that we don't necessarily have like open copies of to play. So if we want to hear something that's like brand new, we'll stream it.
I have to ask my camera guy, do you know what an 8-track is?
No idea what it is. I've never seen one.
Yeah. I'll show you before you go.
Yeah, we're going to show him what an 8-track is.
Totally.
So tell me about the store vibe. Like, what type of describe the layout, the posters, the records.
You know, we've got you know, everything's kind of like, we try to keep it very organized, you know, and that's like a constant day-to-day thing of going in, making sure that things are alphabetized, organized. We keep our sections pretty clean and neat.
Yeah.
We have posters up, T-shirts. We sell, you know, equipment if you're looking to get started in vinyl. We also have boom boxes for CD players.
Really?
Yeah, all sorts of stuff to get people like, you know, going if they want to explore physical media.
Yeah.
You know, this is a place that they can come and we can help them out, you know.
And what type of music do you have here? Do you go from classical to rock
literally
to
everything.
hip hop?
Literally everything.
Okay.
Yeah, we like I said earlier, we wanted to be like, you know, we wanted to be able to service anyone that walked in. And so yeah, we have classical music, we have rock, of course, rock and pop, and you know, hip hop, soul, blues, of course, being from Chicago.
Oh, of course,
you know,
of
like,
course,
so, and the vibe, I feel like, you know, the vibe is like, we just want, I call this my happy place, you know, like, and if you're coming here, like to hear music or to buy music, like most people that come here, it's not like going to the dentist, you know, like people want to be here, you know what I mean? And so that's really like nice, you know. You know, we try to keep it really, like I was saying, this is like my happy place, you know, and if you're coming here to buy music or to listen to music with us, you know, you want to be here. Customers want to be here, you know, like I was mentioning, it's not like going to the dentist or like going to get your car fixed, you know, like this is a place where we try to keep it really chill. Yeah. We love our customers, you know, and we love chatting with them. They turn us on to music all the time. That's the other thing, you know. Like when I was in education, I used to tell my students that, like, because you know, students always look to the teacher as like knowing everything, you know. And I'd always tell them like I could fill a warehouse with what I don't know, and that's still true, you know, about like music. Like every single day, someone teaches me something, whether it's one of my staff or like a customer. Someone teaches me something new about music, and that's like part of the fun of it. Yeah. So we keep it like we like to just be. There's like sometimes there's a stereotype of record store employees being like a little bit like aloof or a little like, you know, kind of rude. I mean, you know, and our goal is to be like the antithesis of that. We want to be the nice record shop.
You know, every time I come in here, I've never had an issue with anyone. Yeah. They're always like, "Can we help you? Can you help you?" Yeah.
And you know, we also like want to be cognizant of like we're not like, you know, we're not like the type of place too where it's like, you know, do you want fries with that? We're not like trying to upsell anybody. We just, people are coming in and we're happy to like help you find what you need, but we also are happy to just let people browse and do their thing. You know, we're not like on top of you, you know?
Yeah. So do you have collectors come in?
Yeah, for sure. We have people that come in like that are looking for their white whale, you know, they're looking for their like, and we've, you know, it's really great, like, because there have been times when people have like found the thing here, and like the joy that they get from that is awesome, you know, like the fact that we can like provide that experience for them, and to see people like get so excited about something. I mean, how could you not love that, you know?
You know what's interesting is I'm sure a lot of people are pissed now that they threw away all their vinyl.
Oh, dude.
When cassettes came out and then the CDs came out.
Totally.
And I remember, like, my family had tons of albums.
Totally.
And I used to buy albums.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, when CD came out, it was like, well, there goes the vinyl.
Totally.
So it's just like...
Yeah, I used to work at a record shop here in Chicago called Secondhand Tunes back in the day, like in the early 90s, you know, and then for a few years. And it was the time when everyone was just dumping their record collections, which is so interesting now because, like, you know, back then everyone wanted CDs, right?
Yes.
So people were just like dumping their record collections, and we couldn't give vinyl away, you know? And now it's like flipped, and it's almost like we can't give CDs away. You know, like we're starting to sell more CDs now. You know, people are coming back to the CD as a format, which I'm happy about because I love CDs too. But people want records, and you know, so it's wild to see how that shifted. You know.
So what about like any type of special editions? How do you find records?
Yeah, so mostly it's just people either coming in and bringing stuff to sell us, they're bringing their like collections, small and large, or sometimes people have huge collections, and we do house calls. So we'll go to like so someone will call and say like, you know, hey, I'm cleaning out my uncle's house, or you know, or we're moving, we're downsizing, we're retired. We have a huge record collection that we haven't listened to in a long time, and we don't want to take it with us. Like, can you come and take a look? So we'll go out, assess it. If it's, you know, it's stuff that we're interested in, we'll take the whole collection, make them an offer, and haul it away. You know,
right.
So that's how we get our stuff. You know, is just like by people knowing that we buy and sell used records here.
How far have you went out of the state?
Yeah, I've been to Iowa.
Really?
Yeah, I've been to Iowa. I've been to Indiana a bunch of times. Wisconsin, pretty much in this, you know, general area.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just in the Midwest.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, like, don't. Like, we don't want to we don't want to drive to Iowa. We will, but you know, like, it's mostly like it's pretty local. Usually, it's people like in Chicago or in the Chicago area or even in this neighborhood. Yeah. But we have had people that have called us from, like, you know, like I said, we've literally gone to Iowa and picked up like a collection of like 5,000 records.
Oh, really?
That this guy was collecting for his whole life. You know.
You know what's interesting? I think DePaul University has a museum. Or not a museum, but like a collector's... A library.
Of vinyl?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is very interesting because I didn't know they had it either. And this is all hearsay. A friend of mine told me that he donated a lot of his vinyls to DePaul University.
That's nice.
The music school, I believe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't want to donate them and you want to make a little money, like, bring them here. You call us, you know.
So tell me about, like, for instance, the music. Like, you travel, you have different age groups that work here. What sparked that in them, or do you know?
I mean, I think music is such a personal thing for everybody, right? Like, it's such an important part of our lives, and it's like, you know, I always also go back to like my time in education, right? Like, when you are in like preschool or kindergarten, right? How do you learn the ABCs? Yeah. You sing them.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so music is just part of like our DNA, I believe, you know? And so, so people, you know, like, music is all around us, and not everyone is like hardcore, you know. Some people just like, you know, hear music and it's good, but then there are like people that are really into it and really want to like dig in and learn. It's just like to me, it's like any topic that you're into or interested in. Yeah. You know, some people collect coins, some people collect dolls, you know, some people collect music, and I think that that's just part of it.
You know what's interesting? I used to just listen to music, and I still listen to music. Yeah. But I don't know the artist. And it's so interesting because I'm like, I just don't know the artist, but I like this song. Yeah. And I have to literally snap a shot of it or go to Houndtooth or Soundtooth and be like, I like this artist, you know. Yeah. And so I tell you a story. I was in New York, walking down the street, minding my own business. And my friend was across the street. So we're meeting up for lunch. And we were just... I was on one side, he was on the other, and there's this crowd of like 4 or 5 guys behind me. And they cracked a joke, and I just bust up laughing. And, you know, in New York, some of the lights, you change at the same time, so you're standing there for a longer period of time. So these 5 guys, we're just chatting now, we're chatting, and we're talking, and we're time to cross the street. My buddy has his mouth open, like, oh my God. Who are you talking to? And I said, hey guys, you want to go grab a drink at the bar right here? And they looked, and then all of a sudden I see everybody staring at these guys out the window. And they're like, no man, but hey, thanks, if we pass by, we see you again, we'll grab a drink somewhere. I was like, okay, cool. My buddy comes up to me, he goes, do you know who you were talking to? I'm like, 5 cool guys? Walking down the street, he goes, you're an idiot. He goes, that was Coldplay.
I knew you were going to. I had a feeling that's what I was
I was like, first of all, this is my second, you know.
Right.
So then I said, who's Coldplay?
Sorry, Chris.
So all of a sudden, He gets on his phone. He plays their song. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that song. That's my favorite song. He goes, those were the guys. I'm like, oh man. So it was funny because I had no idea, and they were going to come get a drink with me, but this whole crowd in the bar started to look, and I didn't think they were looking at. Obviously, they were looking at me. So I was just like, oh, who are you guys looking at? And it was so funny because it was Coldplay. And ever since then, I've been to every one of their concerts.
I mean, look, they're in the news big time now, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily for.
I don't want to be on the Kiss Cam.
Yeah, right.
But you never know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I think it's true. Like, you know the music.
Yeah.
You don't have to like be a hardcore like, oh my god, I know these guys. You know, like you just know that you heard those songs and you liked them.
Right.
You know?
That is true.
But that would probably happen to me, man. That would honestly.
And that's me. Yeah.
That would probably happen to me. I'd probably be like talking to someone, and actually, there have been people that have come in here, and then they'll leave, and then someone like one of my staff members will be like, you know who that was, and I'll be like, it was just some like nice guy. You know, like,
right. Some cool guy to say,
right.
Exactly. So when did you notice the change of, like, for instance, you said you worked in education. This was your dream. When did you decide now is the right time to open up a vinyl store?
So I was having some medical issues that I won't get too deep into, but like that actually caused me to have to take some time away from education to like work on getting like my health in order. And so in that process, I was just thinking, like I always had this idea tucked in the back of my head that like would be really cool to open my own shop someday.
Right.
And so, I was like, kind of having the health issues in a way too was like, you just have to go for it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just decided like, let's turn that dream into like an actual thing.
Yeah.
And that's how it really started, honestly.
So what did you think about the community? Has the community been welcoming here?
Yeah, Andersonville is a great like neighborhood in Chicago. The people that live and shop here are like really supportive of like independent businesses, which is we're really lucky for. Because people could, I don't want to like tell people to do this, but people could just sit on their couch and like click and buy.
Right.
Exactly. And so to actually when people actually get up off the couch or leave the house and come to a physical shop, that's kind of special because they don't have to, and so we really honor that in our community. That people really are supportive.
Oh yeah. It's interesting. I'm looking at BC Boys album over here. I'm looking at the Beatles over here, and I'm like, I want to go play some records.
Yeah.
Tupac.
Totally.
So tell me about, for instance, we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
But what is the legacy do you want to leave behind and about this shop, and when are you going to start a coffee shop here?
Oh man, I don't know.
No coffee shop.
Like I said, right now this keeps us very busy. But the legacy, hopefully we've because I really also believe in like supporting other people in the community. We work really closely with some nonprofits in the community to help like them with fundraising and we like to have like in-store performances. This past Sunday we had we had like a local band play. We have that happen a lot. So we like to support like local artists, local bands.
Nice.
And so I hope the legacy is just that we've become a part of the fabric of the community and that people remember us as a place where they like were able to come, listen to some music and have a lot of fun,
So where do the band play, in the front?
Yeah, we move that. Yeah, there's that like little couch. We just move that couch out of the way. They set up there. We make it work. We've had like this band was like a 6-piece band. They had like a fiddle player.
No
and
kidding.
Totally, yeah. And,
nice.
And it was great. And people turned out. It was like we were really crowded and it was just a lot of fun.
So one more thing. If these walls could talk, what would they say?
Man, they would say, I would hope they would say that you guys are crazy here, we just love, like, we tease on each other, we have fun with each other, we're kind to each other, we take care of each other, and we hope that comes across to the customers, because we do that with the customers too, customers come in, we have regulars that come in like once or twice or 3 times a week, and we know them well enough now that we can joke with them and vice versa. And so I hope that's what I hope the walls would say, you guys are having fun, but you guys are a little crazy sometimes.
You're a little crazy. All right. So a couple more questions.
Okay.
if you were to give advice or pass on advice from your mom, dad, whomever, what advice would you give them?
Just don't be afraid to go for it.
All right.
You know, it sounds really simple, and it's not that simple. You know, it's not easy to. This was not an easy thing to do. You know, it took a lot of work, and time and energy, and there were times. You know, we opened right before, like a year and a half before the pandemic. You know, so there were times when it got scary.
Yeah.
But I would just say, don't be afraid to just like go for it. Really.
Right.
I know it sounds kind of cliche, but it's really sort of true. You know.
But that's the life model, right?
Yeah.
Or a life model.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you hear like musicians and like our, you know, people in the media talk about that all the time. Like, you know, you just got to follow your dreams. Don't be afraid to follow. And it's kind of true, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Tell the people where you're at. The name and your location.
Sure.
And
so we're at 5405 North Clark Street in Andersonville. It's just a couple of blocks north of Foster, and it's Rattleback Records. And we have rattlebackrecords.com. You can email us at rattlebackrecords@gmail.com. But yeah, stop on in and tell us what you like and let us find some music for you.
And when is your next live performance here?
Boy, that's a good question. We just, like I said, did one Sunday. We have them booked out. I think the next one is like in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then you probably will see me here sometime soon.
Awesome, man.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Meeting you.
Appreciate you.
Really good.
All right.
Thanks.